Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a cool photo edit, kind of like this one. This can be used for pro player avatars. Doesn't even need to be for pro player. You can use these color corrections in advertisements, all kinds of design really. So yeah, I have done a color correction tutorial. This is going to be kind of similar to that, although that tutorial was purely just for Twitter headers, and this stuff will be more based around photo edits, and I'll also show you some cool effects like this shine effect right here. Okay. So let's get into it. So we're going to open this photo. You can get any photo. You can probably get quite a few from Google. Any pro player picture. Doesn't need to be a pro player, like I said before. Okay, so first off, you don't really need to do anything to the picture itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by adding a hue and saturation. If you don't have this adjustments tab open, all you need to do is go to Window and then Adjustments. That'll close it if you already have it open. So just reopen it again, and there you go. You'll have all these icons here, or you could just go to the bottom here and just click the icon that has half a circle white and half of it black, and then you have all these options here as well. Okay, so what we're going to do first, we're going to decrease the saturation right down to -100%. And for the most part, we're not going to be using these blending options, only for the gradients, and we're just going to be using the opacity a lot more. Okay, so now we've done that, we're going to decrease that to about 50. That's pretty good. It will vary for each photo and what looks good for your photo. So don't copy my digits exactly, but just get a rough idea of what I'm using and perhaps use them for yourself. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a curve and just drop it down. Okay, yeah, that looks good. What that basically does is it makes the dark areas darker while maintaining the light areas. You can see the levels of the graph in the background of your color. So you can see that there's a lot of dark areas, because you can see at the dark side it's very high, and then on the light side it's quite low. Okay, so now we've done that, we are going to add another curve and then change the blending option to luminancy, and we're going to make this lower down here and make this higher up here. It kind of brings up the exposure, We are going to add more exposure now. But yeah, that is a way of doing it. It adds a nice cool effect to it as well. Okay, so to add the exposure, all we need to do is go to this icon here and just increase it a little bit. A good idea, if you're going to do that, a good idea to be increasing the gamma correction as well, because that adds a nice cool effect to it. But sometimes it can look good without it, so yeah, it's all about just messing around, like I said before. Different digits work better for different photos. Okay, so now we've done that, we're going to add a gradient. So to do that, all you need to do is press the gradient icon. We're going to change the blending option to soft light, which is right there, and we're going to lower the opacity right down. Okay, that looks good. And now we're going to use a gradient map this time. So we're going to go down to this icon down here and go to gradient, and yeah, so that is pretty cool. We're going to set this to soft light as well. So just set that soft light, and we're going to decrease the opacity right down to about 20%. And we're just going to double click on this gradient icon, and we can just mess around. The default ones do look pretty good. I know that the default ones are pretty bad for pretty much everything in Photoshop, but for these gradient maps, they are pretty cool. So yeah, that one's cool. We're going to use that, I think. We can also edit the colors a bit. So if you want it to be more red, we can just add more red, and we can do the same for here. Maybe a bit darker. Okay, so that looks good. Now what we're going to do is, you don't have to do this part, it does look pretty good as it is, but if this is an optional part, you can add a black and white. Make sure it's below all of your color corrections, and then change all of these digits to 0, and then adds a cool effect as well, and then you just lower the opacity to about 50, and yeah, that makes the whole picture darker, and also maintains these color corrections that we added up here, and yeah, so it looks pretty good. Also, another thing that looks good with a lot of photos, if you go down to this icon again, you could go to solid color and just press OK, just leave it at that, and go to exclusion, and then bring the opacity right down to about 6. If you leave it at white, it has a nice offset color, or you could go to a red, and then it will change the tint to whatever color you set it to. But yeah, it does normally look best at white, because it really adds that nice offset to the picture. Okay, so that's done for the color correction. We've got a nice folder. We can add this to a folder just by selecting this all and press Ctrl and J, or you could just click and drag them all down to that folder tab, and then yeah, and then we can just rename this to color correction. Okay, so now we've done that, I'm going to show you guys how we can add this little white shine here, and that is pretty cool on pretty much every design you can have. Okay, so we want our foreground color to be white. So if you don't have it white, all you just do is click on it once and just click and press OK. And now we're going to use our pen tool. So yeah, our pen tool can be seen here, and we're just going to click across the whole picture. Make sure it goes off the artboard as well, and then just go around. Okay, so we just want to right click now and press make selection and just press OK. And now we're going to use our brush tool, and we're just going to do one white, just click once, and then we can press Ctrl D to deselect, and now we have this nice shine going across the whole thing. Also looks pretty cool if we just rub out the edges, just so it kind of looks like a, don't really know how to describe it, but it looks pretty cool if you just rub out the edges. It's kind of like a slit, if that makes sense. And then you can just reposition it just so it goes around him, and it also looks pretty cool if you just rub it out from him, just so it looks like it's going behind him. And yeah, that looks pretty cool as well. So now that we've done that, we can add our light source. Light sources, they look pretty cool on pretty much all photos. So yeah, you can add this. All you need to do is go to your brush tool, and then just use the first default, well, the softness brush here. This default brush, everyone should have it unless you deleted it. And yeah, just want to decrease our size probably to about 800. So let's just type that. Okay. Just being a bit slow. Okay. Also, if that isn't big enough, you can just use the square bracket keys to make it bigger. And then you just want to click at the very top. And there we go, we have this cool little light source coming down on him. It's pretty cool. So yeah, if you enjoyed this tutorial, you found it helpful, please leave a like. And I appreciate all the support. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my new video.